warm welcome to TV Africa News and thank you for always tuning us. This is Africa Today. My name is Najima Luima, but first are the headlines. Quest to replace Orania as Speaker attracts 16. Uganda officially assumes office as new Codex coordinator for Africa. Uganda Red Cross DTB signed deal to save more lives. AC Villa shootout express face on Paraka at round of 16. A warm welcome once again. Now the news in detail. A total of 16 members of parliament have shown interest in replacing Jacob Oulanyah as the Speaker of the 11th Parliament. On Monday, the ruling NRM Party Electoral Commission asked interested party members to present themselves for nomination. We have more. Deputy Speaker Anita Among was among the first ones to pick nomination forms, but she dedicated her personal assistant, identified as Mary Athieno, to pick nomination forms on her behalf from the NRM Electoral Commission headquarters in Kampala. The State Minister for Defence, Jacob Oboth, who also doubles as the West Budama South MP, also picked nomination forms to enable him stand in the speakership race. The Chaka South County constituency in Chegegwa District, Jackson Kafuzi, who also doubles as the Deputy Attorney General, expressed in taking over affairs of the August House. The Dokoro South County MP Felix Okot Ogong identified himself as a man of truth who is capable of steering the affairs of the August House. Others who expressed interest within the NRM included Remiaga MP Thedio Sechikubo, Arua Central Division MP Jackson Atima Lee, Leader City Woman MP who also doubles as the Health Minister Dr. Jane Ruth Acheng, Tororo Woman MP Sarah Opend, State Minister for Sports Hamson Obua, Alex Chintu Brandon, the Kagoma North Legislator Florence Asimwe Akik, the Masin District Woman MP Okot John Amos, and Pius Wakabi. The NRM MPs will now wait for the outcome of the party top organ, Central Executive Committee, to decide on which names to stay in the race ahead of the election by MPs on Friday. The race to replace deceased Jacob Oulanyah has also attracted 3 opposition members of parliament, including Ibrahim Semjunganda, Asman Basalirwa, and Sham Malende, the Kampala woman MP. Uganda, through the Uganda National Bureau of Standards, has officially assumed office as the new coordinator for the Food and Agriculture Organization and World Health Organization Coordinating Committee for Africa, taking over from Kenya. In a bid to bring peace to the troubled country, President Faustin Archange Touadera promised in late 2020 to hold the so-called Republican Dialogue for Reconciliation. Representatives of the ruling party, civil society figures, and invited guests attended the opening of the Central African Republic National Reconciliation Talks. Several hundred people attended the launch of the forum in the National Assembly. According to the president's spokesman, the talks are a good opportunities to start over. The peace talks are set to last 1 week, and the agenda offers little detail on the debates and the dialogue process itself. It was not until last Thursday that the organizers released a list of 5 themes that include peace and security and political governance, a democratic and institutional strengthening. The Central African Republic has been marred in civil war since 2013. Despite United Nations peacekeeping mission, which has been present in the country since 2014, security remains a fleeting dream for the majority of Central Africans. Moving on, Diamond Trust Bank Uganda has signed a 3-year humanitarian partnership with the Uganda Red Cross Society aimed at saving lives. The partnership was entered on Tuesday with a sign-off of the Memorandum of Understanding at the DTBU head offices on Kampala Road. Under the Memorandum of Understanding, DTB will participate in saving more lives in Uganda through countrywide blood donor recruitment and mobilization, financial literacy trainings, and community volunteerism reach-out activities. While signing the Partnership Memorandum of Understanding at the DTB offices, Robert Kwesiga, the Secretary General of Uganda Red Cross, welcomed DTB on board as one of the corporate partners joining the National Society to support a humanitarian cause that will see more lives saved. The Diamond Trust Bank Uganda Managing Director Varghese Thambi said the partnership has come at the right time as it enables them to continue giving back to society. Diamond Trust Bank, which has 34 branches across the country and will work with Uganda Red Cross Society's 51 branches to be able to drive blood donation, build financial inclusion through financial literacy trainings and other initiatives under the signed Memorandum of Understanding. Consequently, DTB is now a corporate member of the Uganda Red Cross, and the membership will culminate into volunteer opportunities for staff of the bank who will also offer various services within the community across the country. Let's take a quick break. We will be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching TV Africa News, The Right to Know. Yesterday was World Water Day under the theme Groundwater Making the Invisible Visible, and in Kenya, climate change is pushing conventional water sources to the brink of exhaustion. Unpredictable weather patterns and low rainfall mean surface dams are no longer reliable sources of domestic water. We have more on this report.
According to a new report by the United Nations World Water Development published by UNESCO, the vast potential of underground water and the need to manage it sustainably can no longer be ignored. The report says that regions such as Sub-Saharan Africa and the Middle East, for example, hold substantial quantities of non-renewable groundwater supplies that can be extracted in order to maintain water security. According to the UN report, vast aquifers remain largely underexploited, with just 3% of farmland in the regions equipped for irrigation, and only 5% of that area uses groundwater. The UN report argues with the development of groundwater, more land can be irrigated. This in turn can improve agriculture yields and crop diversity, all of which could drive forward economic growth. A new UN report highlights how the development of groundwater access can help alleviate water scarcity in drought-prone regions. It concludes that the low use of renewable groundwater is due to a lack of investment in infrastructure and a lack of professional knowledge of the resource.
The Anti-Corruption Commission has charged the acting chairman of Zambia's main opposition party on 5 counts, including corruption. Given Lubinda was arrested on Monday, then released. The Anti-Corruption Commission has charged the acting chairman of Zambia's main opposition party on 5 counts, including corruption, which involves more than $500,000. According to the Anti-Corruption Commission, the charges relate to property belonging to him and several deposits in bank accounts that are suspected to proceed from criminal activity. Lubinda's arrest is the latest twist in a series of prosecutions of high-profile officials from the previous executive was defeated in the August 2021 elections. Following his election last year, President Hakainde Hichilema vowed to fight against graft and recover state assets allegedly stolen under the previous government. The former Justice Minister has eventually been released and awaits a court appearance. Away from that, the Central African Republic on Monday kicked off national reconciliation talks in a bid to bring peace to the troubled country, but no rebel groups were invited and the opposition is boycotting the forum. Let's take a look. In a bid to bring peace to the troubled country, President Faustin Archange Touadera promised in late 2020 to hold the so-called Republican Dialogue for Reconciliation. Representatives of the ruling party, civil society figures and invited guests attended the opening of the Central African Republic National Reconciliation Talks. Several hundred people attended the launch of the forum in the National Assembly. According to the president's spokesman, the talks are a good opportunities to start over. The peace talks are set to last 1 week, and the agenda offers little detail on the debates and the dialogue process itself. It was not until last Thursday that the organizers released a list of 5 themes that include peace and security and political governance, democratic and institutional strengthening. The Central African Republic has been marred in civil war since 2013. Despite United Nations peacekeeping mission, which has been present in the country since 2014, security remains a fleeting dream for the majority of Central Africans. Moving on, the U.S. Supreme Court nominee Ketanji Brown Jackson vowed Monday to defend the grand experiment of American democracy as she launched a historic bid to be the first black woman on the nation's highest judicial bench.
The federal judge, who may become the first black female justice, was formally introduced to the 22 senators on the Judiciary Committee on Monday. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson said that if she is confirmed by the committee members, she will work productively to support and defend the Constitution. She added that as a judge for nearly a decade, she will take the responsibility and will be her duty to be independent during her tenure. President Biden's pick has a decade of experience on lower courts. Jackson previously served as a law clerk Stephen Breyer and the retiring justice she is set to replace. As the final word on all civil and criminal legal disputes, the Supreme Court seeks to ensure equal justice under the law. At the moment, 3 justices picked by a Democratic president sit on the Supreme Court. A nomination of Jackson would not change the balance. No red flags have been raised about Jackson's record that would imperil her prospects, and Republicans have pledged to avoid the kind of character assassination they argue Democrats staged before the confirmation of Justice Brett Kavanaugh in 2018. But conservatives have been signaling that they intend to go after her record as a public defender and raise rulings they say were too lenient in a bid to frame Biden via his nominee as soft on crime ahead of November's midterm elections. In a marked contrast to the solemn atmosphere inside the hearing, supporters of Jackson staged a jubilant rally outside the nearby Supreme Court, wearing t-shirts emblazoned with the judge's image and waving placards. The committee is meeting through Thursday to consider her nomination. Democratic leaders plan a final Senate vote next April.
Let's once again take a quick break. We will be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching TV Africa News, the right to know. In our business news today, South Africa will have to act against the air pollution linked to the exploitation of coal after an unpublished court decision in favor of environmental campaigners, according to the confirmation from a lawyer involved in the case.
In the core region of Mpumalanga East, the air is the most polluted in the world, with record levels of nitrogen dioxide according to the NGO Greenpeace. South Africa is the continent's leading industry and gets 80% of its electricity from coal. In 2019, environmental organizations Groundwork and Vukani took the government to court for violating the constitutional right of citizens to breathe clean air in the so-called deadly air case. Exposure to toxic chemicals emitted by coal plants such as sulfur dioxide, heavy metals like mercury, and fine particles has led to an epidemic of diseases such as asthma, bronchitis, lung cancer, and also contributes to strokes and premature births, the organization says. In 2012, the Department of Environment had published a plan for air management in the region. The Pretoria court on Friday gave it a 1-year deadline to implement it. According to Tim Lloyd, a lawyer, the South African government is now forced to act. Mpumalanga is home to more than 83% of the country's coal production, and the state-owned electricity company, Eskom, owns 12 coal-fired power stations there. At COP26 in Glasgow in November, South Africa secured 7.7 billion euros in loans and grants to finance an energy transition.
In our health news today, South Africa on Tuesday relaxed some of the remaining COVID-19 curbs, dropping mandatory negative results for inboard fully vaccinated travelers, a move expected to boost tourists' numbers.
President Cyril Ramaphosa made the announcement to scale down restrictions imposed when the coronavirus arrived in the country in March 2020 as new infection rates slowed and deaths are fewer. Ramaphosa said that travelers entering South Africa will need to show proof of vaccination or a negative PCR test not older than 72 hours. Previously, all travelers entering the country were required to procure a costly negative PCR test. Inside the country, vaccinated individuals or those that have a negative test result will be allowed back into sporting stadiums and music and theater shows, which will be permitted to operate at half capacity. The mandatory wearing of face masks when outdoors has been scrapped but will remain mandatory in public indoor spaces. Ramaphosa said that with these changes, almost all restrictions on social and economic activity will have been lifted. As of Tuesday, South Africa had recorded a total of 3,705,696 laboratory confirmed cases, including 99,893 fatalities out of a population of 59 million.
And in sports, Sports Club Villa marched the 2022 Stanbic Uganda Cup round of 16 after a 4-3 tense post-match penalty victory over arch rivals Express at the Mutesa 2 Stadium on Tuesday. Normal time of this end-to-end duel was goalless, with a couple of half chances per side. We have more. Travis Mutiaba lit up the Blue Jogo gallery with fancy, successful dribbles, but the goal-scoring opportunities from Isaac Ogwang and Muhindo were dearly missed. Express's Eric Kenzo was denied by the impressive goalkeeper Martin Senkoto from a free kick as Charles Musige and substitute George Senkaba also got close. Enoch Walisimbi scored Express's first kick before Saddam Masereka equalized 1-1. Express's second penalty was converted by George Senkaba, a first-half substitute for Abel Etrude. Nicholas Kabonge made it 2-2 with a well-taken penalty. Derek Chigundu scored Express's third penalty, and so did Emil Kakomo for the Jogos. Faizo Sechanzi curled his penalty wide of the goal posts. Ibrahim Saddam Juma scored to put Sports Club Villa ahead 4-3. Eric Kenzo Kambale's weak penalty was saved by SC Villa's late substitute Joseph Higa as Express got eliminated on home soil. Sports Club Villa will now play on Paraka at the Ababeit Greenlight Stadium in Arua during the round of 16 stage. Meanwhile, Bull marched to the quarterfinals for the second year in a row following a 4-3 post-match penalty victory over Soltero Bright Stars at Kavumba Recreational Stadium. Normal time of this tie had ended 2 goals apiece. That was the news. Thank you for always keeping it TV Africa. Please do stay tuned. More programming coming your way.